In this city, legends are real. The ordinary sleep to sweet dreams, filled with hope and wonder, while those awake see things for what they are, a nightmarish labyrinth made of steel and concrete. Gods and monsters walk among us, from that waitress by that 24/7 diner under the bridge, or that clerk working at the gas station. They could be anyone. And just like anyone, we search for answers to some hard questions. But life sometimes gets in the way, gets complicated, sometimes messy even. Stick around if you want to hear a strange tale or two. Best do it before the mist rolls in. In this city, the mist is our mistress of mysteries.
Hey everybody.
Hey everybody, welcome to Royal Flush, our City of Mist game. We're back after a long week of Extra Life, where I will have Robert talk about how much we raised for Extra Life and how awesome it was. If you tuned in last week for that, you probably saw us playing Masks and TMNT, and it was all great. We all had a great time. We all had lots of fun, made lots of memories, and we have a few announcements to make. Robert, if you want to make some of the announcements for us.
Yeah, I'll take it off from here. Our first announcement is we have a sponsor. As always, it is So Nerdwear. You can get amazing All Nerds Here merchandise, like the You Can't Be Me shirt that Ron Sterling wears, and more. And the PWN mug and everything. There's so much good stuff there. And even better yet, if you use the code ALLMERCHHERE, you get 10% off your order, and you help support the show, which is great. Even if you buy somebody else's merch on So Nerdwear, if you use the code ALLMERCHHERE, you help us. So
and if you happen to know a very reasonably rich celebrity, maybe you can endorse them to buy the $5,000 "You Know Who I Am, You Know What I Do" celebrity T-shirt that's on So Nerdwear.
Yep.
There's a what?
There's a $5,000 T-shirt that says "You Know Who I Am, You Know What I Do."
It's Lamar's shirt.
Oh.
Yeah, and you can get 10% off that if you use the code ALLMERCHHERE.
I know it's $5,000.
I was flabbergasted when I found out too.
Steve, that was like that's been an internal joke that's been a thing, and it exists and it's wonderful.
We're off to a good start, everybody.
Oh, good times.
Indeed. The second thing, as Jackie alluded to, is last weekend we didn't have a game because we were doing Extra Life. Dumpstat Charisma, Soul Bear RPG, All Nerds Here, and So Matty Games. We got together, so we mind melded, and we played tabletop role-playing games and Among Us for combined 37 hours, which was nuts. We raised a little over $7,000 for the Children's Miracle Network, which is more than Dumpstat Charisma had ever raised in the prior 3 years combined, which is amazing. The larger team that Dumpstat Charisma is on, Cascadian Gamers, raised $80,000 combined, which is like big meat and potatoes.
Wasn't it like 3.4 million total that Extra Life raised? I thought.
Yep.
Yeah, something like that. That's amazing.
And Rooster Teeth just did their big fundraiser live stream yesterday, and they raised over $1 million by themselves. But they're a big company and they can do that. We're just small little beans pretending to be other people on the internet, and we raised $7,000, and that's pretty fucking amazing. So thank you to everybody that watched and was there for that. It was real fucking cool. That's what I got, Jackie. Back to you.
Thank you. So I want to do a quick recap because since we weren't live last week. For those of you tuning in, and as a refresher for all our wonderful players, just before we do the quick intro of our characters, last week we had God, I'm having a moment here. Miriam, Tommy, and Faith are right now in the middle of a possible hospital standoff with a suspicious character that they've been
forget all that?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I will set the scene for that. So I'm glad I decided to remind everybody now.
I remember it.
And Perdita is right now with Nezumi, who's a cat burglar by day and night. And right now they're they're heading to an abandoned tenement building located in the old industrial district. So before we get into the action, why don't we have our players introduce themselves and tell you, the audience, who they're playing tonight and what is the mythos that their characters are portraying, which is the mythical embodiment of a story, legendary figure, or object, or something of that nature. Why don't we have Simon? Why don't you go first?
Yeah, I'd love to. My name is Simon, and my pronouns are he, him, and I'm playing Perdita Glass, whose pronouns are she, her. She is a private investigator whose mythos is Alice in Wonderland.
Yay! Thank you. Angela?
Hello there, everybody, and wonderful viewers who are tuning in. I'm Angela. She, her pronouns, and I'll be playing Miriam Rocovado, who is a death doula / hospice caregiver, and who has the mythos of Shepa Totek, our Lord of the Flayed Skin, a god of life, rebirth, and of spring inside her.
Thank you. And Smurf?
Hey, I'm Smurf. Today I am playing Tommy Two Sticks. Both of our pronouns are he, him. Old Tommy there, his mythos is the legend of Babe Ruth, the great Bambino, the Sultan of SWAT, the King of Clout.
Nice. And it's going to get fun today, I think. And Kate.
Hi, I'm Kate. I go by Mia Midair on the internets, and I play Faith Hughes. Both of our pronouns are she, her, and we are a social worker, grad student by day, and a Scottish wolver, the benevolent werewolf by night.
That sometimes gives you fish.
Yeah, always gives you fish if you deserve it and are in need.
I just read the chat. What? That was a poor choice.
Man.
All right. So
I'm so upset that I didn't think of it the week after he spoke to me. Like, I'm so sad that I didn't think of it.
Why you like this?
Oh man. All right. So
wow, we're all in a good mood today.
Yeah, we're all in a good mood today. So we're gonna start the scene. The first scene we're gonna do is gonna be the bigger chunk, I think. And so we're gonna tackle the scene where it's in the hospital. To paint the picture, we have Cypress Grove General, which is a 7-story hospital with 5 wings. And right now you're pretty much in the lobby area. And so the scene picks off from where Tommy Two Sticks and Miriam, you're right now hovering around like one of the nurses stations, and Thomas Yang, who is a large kind of buff Asian man. Right now he's wearing hospital scrubs and everything, and he's basically directing a body bag on a stretcher. And Miriam, you saw and noticed that is the body bag that's supposed to contain Abigail Williams, who had been retrieved from the morgue recently. And Tommy, you decided to have a confrontation for the moment with this gentleman, and asked about what is going on and why is this happening. And Faith, you just happened to stumble into the scene wearing your stolen janitor outfit with your Walkman.
And my mop.
And your mop. And so we're going to pick up the scene from there, where Thomas Yan kind of just like steps a little bit closer up to Tommy Two Sticks. You're in my way.
Oh, what are you gonna do about that? What the fuck was that accent?
That sounds in the vicinity of where you were.
Tommy Two Sticks. I'm Tommy Two Sticks. I go down to the docks and I hit balls with bats and okay. You gonna move me out of the way or something?
He's like, I was asking nicely, but if I have to, I will.
What's going on here is not right.
I'm just doing my job. And who are you?
Tommy, it's a pleasure to meet you. I'm afraid I didn't catch your name.
Name's Thomas.
Ah, Thomas. So you think you're some kind of adult or something?
No, but I'm just here to do my job and do it right. But you're in my way.
Are you aware, sir, that your job appears to be not exactly above board?
I don't know what you mean. I think in this situation, let me see. I think in this situation here, Smurf, what's gonna happen with that is we're gonna I'm gonna say right here that now at least some other hospital workers are catching up, but Miriam, you notice that they are definitely not normal hospital workers. They look like some of the people that came in from the Shangzhen delivery truck wearing hospital uniforms.
Hmm. And they're all still trying to help, like Thomas.
They're coming. Yeah, they're coming in to see what's going on and to start moving the stretcher.
Hmm.
I want to use a power.
Okay, what do you want to do?
One of my abilities is the ability to move objects.
Okay, yep.
I assume that the stretcher has like a sheet over it.
Yeah.
I want to fling the sheet off of it. Like, almost as if like a gust of wind comes through and picks up the sheet and it flies off.
Okay.
So what you're saying is you're going to eat the sheet.
I'm going to eat the sheet.
So you're eating the sheet. So is the body going off of it as well, or are you just taking the sheet?
Just the sheet. I just want to expose the thing that they are trying to remove from the hospital.
Okay. I think for the move for that, let's go with. I feel like in this situation, since I think you're trying to give yourself I think giving an advantage is pretty a good one, but I also see it as possibly being take the risk. I feel like for this one, let's go with take the risk for this one. So you're going to perform a daring feat here. So what tags are you going to be using for this?
Charismatically move objects, selectively hit specific targets.
Okay.
Let's see here. I think those are the ones that mean the most.
Okay. And I think for this one, here, there's a little bit of where Tommy, you've been having so many problems up to this point. You're still suspended from your work at the docks. You've been actually making a good way in the hospital lately, but everything leading up to this point has just been really setting you off, really just putting you on the edge. So I think this is also a little bit of you. I'm going to invoke your weakness of desire to take the edge off here. I think that's a good place for that. So that don't forget to mark attention on that. So that should be your third attention on that card. So you will get an improvement.
Okay.
So for the moment, though, let's go ahead and have you roll, and let's see what happens.
I am rolling take a risk.
Okay. It's a 6. It's a miss.
Oh, no.
Ooh. All right. So for this situation here, I think what's going to happen is I think the best thing the thing I think I would like to see happen here is that so as you see, so what it's going to be is, so Tommy, you see that as you're trying to yank it, you're well, not yank it, well, you're not yanking it, but as the sheet is trying to come undone, I think there's that moment where you're kind of like focusing on it, right? Like you're probably looking at it, and that's when you didn't see it coming, and you get decked across the face by Thomas Yang.
Oof.
And for that, you are going to get actually your how the game determines quote unquote damage. And the way that works in this game is you're going to have a new status on your cards, and it's going to be so it's going to be a status, and it's going to be where is it? Oh, here it is. For Thomas, because he hits like a ton of bricks. Let me see. Thomas gives you okay, so he punches you, and you actually, there's a moment where you feel and hear the sound of like a cracked jaw, and so Tommy, you're getting a status called cracked jaw 3.
Ow.
Now in the for both our players and for everyone at home watching the show, for the game's purposes, if you take a status that involves kind of some level of harm or something like that, whether it be physical or mental, whatever, once you hit 5, that's when the game determines that you are knocked out. You're out of the situation. You're out of the combat situation in terms of like being unconscious or running, or you run away or what have you. And then there on all the cards though, there is a 6, and 6 can be usually the most dire consequences or situations.
Okay.
I see this, right? Faith sees this.
Oh yeah, Faith sees this.
Oh, she's gonna charge in and try to interpose herself between Tommy and the big man who she doesn't know and who just hit him.
Okay. And hit him. Okay. Are you I think for this one. Okay, so the thing is, I will say this. Since they probably didn't see you coming, you can go for either I will say you can go with a hit with all you got, if that is what you want to do, or you can go toe to toe and start a fight.
I can do a what? I'm sorry. I could go toe to toe, or I can hit with all I've got.
Yeah, hit with all you got. The difference with that is that you're hitting. For hit them with all you got. Usually it has to be when you have like a good shot, a clear shot, and you hit with everything you've got. Versus go toe to toe is you're trying to overcome someone or someone in a struggle for a struggle. So if you're trying to do that, then it's more like fighting someone, trying to or something like that.
I think her purpose is to get there and then just push him back away from her friend.
Okay.
So I think it's probably go toe to toe.
Yeah, it's go toe to toe.
Inhuman strength.
Okay.
And protector of the weak. I'm gonna use One with a Wolf, and my heart is my power. But I'm also going to invoke Giving into the Animal. I think those are all good things. Anything
Those
you
are a
would
good
like?
one.
Anything you would like me to invoke beyond that?
No, I think that's a good place to be. So let's
Okay.
go ahead and do that for right now.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Jesus.
Nice. So you roll a 14 with that beauty.
Nice.
So you get the 10 plus because you don't have anything that makes go to toe dynamite.
No, I don't.
So you get to choose two. So it's a hit. It's a hit there, and on a 10 plus, you get to choose between two. You get to choose to manage you manage to achieve your goal. You get them good, giving your opponent a status equal to the amount of power you put into this. And when the second one is you block, dodge, or counter their best attempts. But if you don't choose the block, dodge, or counter, they can impose a status on you. So that's the other thing.
I think so. This is my help me figure this out. I would like to counter whatever they're doing. So that's number one. The other thing that I want to do is I want to get him back away from the stretcher and my friend. What would that be? Is that a status or is that taking something from him?
I think that's achieving your goal. So I think that's what you do. So you achieve your goal, but you also manage to protect yourself in a way where it's like, you're just like, so Faith, you get in like kind of almost shielding Tommy for a second and push them away. And so Thomas actually like steps back for a minute and there's a look of confusion for a moment. Like, what is going on? And then just go and even the rest and as that's all happening, Miriam, as you see all that happen, the other hospital workers are moving the stretcher away from the scene.
Can I in that moment, like, because I just took this as an improvement, can I notice possibly two people nearby, a nurse friend and also the head of the nurses union, because that's a power that I have, and try and convince them, just go up to them and be like, I don't think that's policy for them to be taking the body in that way. It's because we have a long established rapport and they know, like, I wouldn't be bringing up something like if this doesn't make sense for them to be doing it in this way, especially with all of the like uptick in bodies and such that we've been dealing with. Anything out of like protocol seems especially suspicious.
Oh yeah, sure, definitely. I think the head nurse will just kind of look at you for a brief. Well, we'll confirm with you, Miriam, and I think they're gonna. And I think the head nurse will even head over there to where the hospital workers are moving the stretcher and just stop them for a brief second and just kind of go, can I see your paperwork in terms of where this is going? I need some confirmation here. And at that point, I think what's going to happen is Yang's going to try to shove you out of is going to try to like move past Faith and Tommy unless they want to do something here.
Let's see. Do we want to do something, Tommy? Yeah.
Yeah.
That face.
And for those of you who don't know, Faith is like a 5'11", broad-shouldered woman. She's not tiny. And Tommy's also a big dude. So like,
Yeah.
So what does either one of you want to do here?
I think as he moves towards Miriam, like Tommy will like shake off the cobwebs and like stand in front of him again, like reposition quickly and be in front of him to stop him.
Okay. So I think for this situation, I'm feeling like, so it feels like here, I feel like for this, since it's not really face danger here, I feel like this is, so you're just trying to put yourself as a wall, is what you're trying to do, right? I think for this one, okay, so Yang is going to look at you again and kind of like look at you for a brief moment. You really want to keep doing this all day?
I'm gonna back up Tommy, so I'm just gonna help him using my one of my help points that I have with him.
So you can spend that as juice. So so you can spend that as juice, and is there a kind of you can spend it to either create a story tag here, which could be an object or an idea or something like that, or you can burn a tag, or you can give a status, or you can reduce or remove a status, depending on how much juice you want to put into this.
I have but I don't know what I could do to help out Tommy's face.
I mean, there could be something like, well, you have the mop with you, right?
Yeah.
You could accidentally drop the mop, and that could be
like a distraction.
Distraction, or you can even just have something like fallen mop as a story tag, and then Tommy can use that.
Oh, okay.
I had an idea.
Oh?
Go.
We could do like a status tag outnumbered. We could have it be that more of the nurses, given that we're starting to create a scene and Tommy's established a good rapport already with folks. I don't think I'm just me as a player would think the nurses aren't exactly going to be fond of the folks who are beating the crap out of our new friend. So it could be something like outnumbered.
I like that. Yeah, I'll spend my one to do outnumbered as a status tag, or is that a story? What is that?
That'll be it. I will say, let's go with the story tag of nurse friends of the hospital.
Okay, I like that. Friends of the hospital.
So that's the story tag that can be used by anyone here. So using that, so having that story tag, the scene happens now where there are now a couple of the nurses. There's nurses. There's also other hospital workers, kind of like looking out of some of the rooms, like just peeking out, like what is all the commotion going around? And at this point, there's like about another like 5 to 8 other hospital workers, kind of like slowly converging into this general area. And I think at this point, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to advance. I'm going to introduce something here, and what it's going to be is Miriam and Faith. You hear a familiar voice. It's Dr. Walters. Dr. Walters has like kind of like mostly shaven head. And they have They have a white lab coat, and they're wearing a cardigan with like, and underneath the cardigan is like a bow tie, not a bow tie. I'm sorry, a tie, and a dress shirt underneath. They are walking down the hallway, and eventually they arrive near this scene, and you hear, "What is going on around here?" And everyone stops. And
this gentleman just hit me in the face.
Walters looks over at Thomas Yang. Really? Thomas actually kind of shrinks down a little bit, you notice, and kind of just keeps his head down a little bit. He was not letting me get past.
And nor should I have, given what has recently come to fruition here regarding these people. Miriam does not recognize these hospital workers. The head of the nurses union says that this is not a standard procedure.
Oh, really? Well, let me take a look at the paperwork here. And they are actually, and you are correct, they're not workers of this hospital. They're on loan from another one.
What hospital is that?
Walters is going to give the name of another hospital, which, for lore purposes, is going to be a hospital that is supposedly outside of the city.
While everyone is distracted with Tommy, can Faith just bump around and just pull the sheet off the stretcher?
Oh, you mean like accidentally?
Yeah, just accidentally.
Okay, I feel like that's a sneak around because it's it's a deceptive act.
I'm stealthy. I can do this.
But I think here for sure, Faith, I'm going to invoke your they know you're coming.
Yeah, I had a feeling you were gonna invoke that one. I just had a feeling.
You had a feeling.
But I am going to do one with the wolf and stealthy that as well.
Okay. And I hear it. I hear the sadness.
No, it's so sad. We can't get this sheet up.
One sheet, everybody. It's one sheet.
And I'm so proud because you think that doors are the real culprits behind
That's exactly what I was thinking. I'm like, did we discover the neo-noir equivalent of a door?
Of a door? It's a sheet.
Sheet over a body.
Dang it.
Man. All right. I think for this one, Faith, I think this is going to have to be for this one here. I think it's going to be a deny them something they want. So,
I can't imagine what that would be.
Seems to fit. Walter's kind of like takes the paperwork from Thomas Yang, looks it over, well, and then brings the head nurse over, and there's a moment where Walters takes the head nurse to like a little bit off the corner for a brief moment, and there's a little bit of murmuring, and eventually they both separate, and Walters hands back the paperwork to Thomas Yang. I have confirmed with the head nurse that everything is in order, and I will not press charges for causing disturbance to my hospital, and as long as you, sir, looking over at Tommy, are all right with not filing any charges against our hospital and also.
Oh, honey. Disturbing the peace is a very minor charge compared to assault. I would like an officer here immediately.
Okay. I like that.
Good.
So I think, but at that moment, for that moment though, Dr. Walters like, very well. We can have, if you would like, I can have you sit in my office for a moment, and if it's all right with you, I will have Mr. Yang here accompany me for a brief moment, just so they can finish what they were supposed to do here.
No, I will not be waiting in an office. I will be waiting here for an officer with all of these people as witnesses. You will not separate us apart from one another. Everyone that is here needs to remain here until there's an officer, and anything but is obstruction of justice.
Go ahead and make a conviction here. I think this is going to be a good one here. I mean, you are threatening. So, yes, it works for this. What are you thinking about, Tommy? What do you think?
Smooth as glass, leading from the front.
In the front, right.
Rugged and strong because he's not, backing.
Oh, yeah. And do I get to invoke your weakness tag for that card for fight out corners?
I think so. Definitely.
I think so here.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think, is there anything else you could get?
I think endurance because he's,
Okay, yeah.
this is a long encounter.
Yeah.
That's going on. And I think that's everything.
Also, he
Well, and it also shows because you're still pretty much like talking pretty well, even with a cracked jaw.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that's good. Wow, that is a lot of power right there. Holy Jesus. Go ahead and roll for that. I mean, geez.
I hope you hit.
This is a convince.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeesh. All right. So yeah, that was a okay. Wow. Oh wait, why is cracked jaw? Oh yeah. Okay, that's okay. So that should not have been included in there.
Yeah.
So it should be a 15.
No, the cracked jaw. No, the cracked jaw shouldn't be in there. So it should be a 9, which is
Correct,
fine.
I'm
Oh.
So convince for 9. So basically, so on a hit, your target can choose to either take a status or give in a little but protect their own agenda. And so I think for this one here, they're going to do that. They're going to protect their own agenda. So Walters, Dr. Walters will kind of nod in agreement. Very well, not a problem, and kind of like gestures at the rest of the hospital workers to the other hospital workers to move the body out of the scene. And very well, we have no problem here. I can stand here with you, Mr. Looking over at Tommy.
Tustikowski.
Tustikowski. Interesting. And Mr. Yeah, I can stand over here as well with you, presiding over the affairs. And we're gonna end the scene there for a brief moment, and we're gonna go transition over. Meanwhile, comic book style. Meanwhile, Perdita. So Perdita, you and Nezumi are together after your little topsy-turvy teleportation out of that mysterious imaging room in air quotes, because there was no medical equipment in there whatsoever. It was full of crates full of different religious death relics in there. And after your escape, you arrive basically in an old section of the industrial district. So it's located a little ways from the pier and from the docks and the port. So in this area, the industrial area, a lot of the buildings are kind of old, worn out. It hasn't been. A lot of these used to be. Some of these used to be manufacturing buildings. Some of these used to be tenement houses and apartment houses to house the workers. And it's sections of this district have been mostly abandoned by the city now, as the city grew and other industries started to flourish, and so like a lot of the manufacturing here has stopped already. There's a few manufacturing that still happens here, but they're really small time and everything compared to that. But you and Nezumi are kind of walking through these semi-deserted streets. The buildings look like they've been around for like a century or if not more. So it's like a lot of old style brick apartment and things like that. And the last time you arrived here, Nezumi was kind of concerned and curious as to why your powers brought you both here, and suspect that maybe it has something to do with where Nezumi and Abigail used to live. And so she's leading the way, taking you to where they used to live, which is an apartment. Right now, the street is kind of quiet and everything. You see like maybe a couple, like 1 or 2 people at most since you've arrived. But pretty much a lot of people keep to themselves. This whole area is not really like you can see like a lot of windows are boarded up. There's a steep chill in the air. Nezumi's kind of walking and thinking, and eventually she says, "I never really thought I'd come back here, of all places."
Well, we're here now, so if you got any skeletons in your closet, now's the time to mentally prepare for bumping into them.
I wouldn't say I have any skeletons, but there are some things I just don't want to remember.
Why not?
It was a tough time here in this neighborhood once. There was a lot more people here too. But a lot of that's changed. This neighborhood's changed.
Definitely seems like it's a fixer-upper.
Well, the Madam Mayor decided to forget about this place a while ago, and kind of just left it to the wayside.
You care a lot about this place, don't you?
I grew up in this area, and she kind of just like starts walking and thinking, and she points to like a little storefront that's closed up. That used to be a mom and pop shop. They used to sell pies, small handheld pies all the time, and I remember them. They were very nice to me and to Abigail when we were younger as kids, and they would at least give us one pie to share between us.
It's very generous. Were the people all like that here?
Everyone here had a little tough, but we all knew to stick together, and we knew to try and make life a little bit easier on ourselves.
Yeah, it's good to stick together. I think you
Yeah.
get a lot more done when you have extra hands to help you out.
True. But Abigail and I also didn't want to stay here forever either. And so that's how we started our profession.
You're so close to this place, and it means so much to you. You didn't want to stick around and try and make it better for the next generation?
I don't know. I think when we were young, we just thought big dreams. And for Abigail, it was always about the next big thing. And for me, I was happy just the fact that we were together and that we had at least some level of comfort.
You ever dream
after a
about
while-
getting outside of the city?
You know, I did. I used to, anyways. When I was younger, I sure did. But I don't know. Ever since I awoke to this whatever, as you, I don't know. I've just never thought about leaving the place. But I really feel, it feels like I'm in my own cage in some way. I can't really figure it out myself why I never really left after all this.
Yeah, sometimes we make houses for ourselves that we don't ever push beyond the walls of.
It sounds like as if that's something you have very good experience on.
No, me? No. I don't believe in walls.
You don't? Then what do you believe in?
What's on the other side of them? And she winks.
So you arrive here. You arrive at the apartment. I actually have to pull up my notes now. So you arrive at the apartment, which is there's a definite it's a tall, like, I'm gonna say, like, it's a tenement house, so let's go with an old style one. So we're gonna go with like a 4-story tenement house. It's a little bit on the narrow side. The front of it is very narrow, but you know that the blocks are really long. So this tenement house probably has like about 20 rooms, which is pretty decent for a tenement house, and that was probably built circa to the 1920s. So you get up, you climb up like these little makeshift stairs, and the door in front of it has a big like condemned, foreclosed, like ribbon and signage put all over it, and there's like an official notice that's been like put up that says by city order and things like as well. Eventually you get up to the door. Nizumi kind of looks around, like takes something out of her coat jacket and you can see it's like it's one of those kind of like lock jacks, and she kind of just like jiggles it a little bit on the door, and you hear a snap, and the door, and she twists the door handle and gestures you in.
Fun trick. You should teach me sometime.
Always handy to have something. I try not to show all my tricks.
Now, I'm sure you've got a lot more up your sleeve.
You haven't the faintest idea.
I'd like to know. And she like walks in the door.
And as she follows after you, closes the door. All right, it's on the 3rd floor. Let's go.
Doesn't look like anyone's been here for a while.
No, it's been a bit. This place was condemned about 10 years ago, and I don't know. I haven't actually come back here since we left this place a long time ago.
You think all your stuff's still here?
Oh yeah. I know we did, because sometimes we still use it as our last safe hold. We used to keep a couple things here from time to time when things got tough.
Well, hopefully there's no nasty surprises on the other side of the door. But we won't know until we find out now, will we?
Well, hopefully. And you get to the 3rd floor, and the apartment, which is numbered 14. And there's another brief moment, and Nezumi takes out the lockjack and jiggles it, and you hear a snap again. The door locks, kind of opens easily, and then she puts it away. The good thing about these old doors is that you really don't need to push. You just need a gentle push. That's all they need. And as you enter into the room, you see it's a very small kind of. There's a living space here. There's no kitchen of any kind. There's a couple of bookshelves still there. There's not a lot of books on it though, and you can see that there's a separate doorway. There's no door though, and you can tell that that's probably where the bedroom would be. And you do see from your vantage point that in that bedroom there's like a large mattress that's on the ground, and there's like a couple of I will say like 1 or 2 wooden crates around as well. Like they're small crates. They're like maybe 2 feet tall, so they're not really big. And what would you like to do, Perdita?
Well, I think there's a wide panel of like them stepping into the apartment, and like the 2 of them very small, and then big empty squalor. And Perdita's just like rocking back and forth on her heels with her hands behind her back, and just a little speech bubble that says "quaint" after a brief pause. And she's like very
furniture
antsy,
in here, by the
like
way.
she wants to climb all over everything and get her grubby little paws all over all the stuff in here. But she's being nice, and so she's like, "Should we? Where do you want to start? Should we take a look around? Should we just?"
Yeah, let's take a look around. I will note, before I forget, there's some old furniture in here. There's like a really beat up couch that has definitely like the springs sticking out of the upholstery and stuff like that. I don't need to tell you this, but it's clearly obvious. There's a lot of dust everywhere. And also there's a couple of like pictures on the walls as well, but they're very crooked. Some of the glass has been broken and stuff like that. And some of the picture frames are just missing pictures altogether. Yeah, let's take a look around. I'm going to check the bedroom, if you don't mind.
No, if you want to get your beauty rest in, go ahead.
No, I'm perfectly fine. Do you want to like look around the apartment then, while she's heading to the bedroom?
Yeah, I think Perdita's just like, as soon as she like waits very patiently until Nezumi like goes into the bedroom, and then she's just like, "Okay, here we go."
There's like there's a thought bubble of like the internal countdown of 3, 2, 1. All right, I'm going.
Yeah.
All right, you want to make a investigate for me?
Yeah, I guess so. Let's see what we can find out about this whole situation. So I'm a PI.
Mm-hmm.
I'm perpetually curious, and I think
Okay.
that's really the two things that I can tag in here because she's like not doing a whole lot of other stuff. She's not like questioning people, right?
Right. I think that's
Um,
pretty good.
I think it's just a simple investigation.
All right, let's go ahead and do that.
That's a 9.
Nice. So on 9, you obviously hit. So you get you have a power of 2. So you get 2 clues for this. The subject is obviously the apartment, and the method is just a simple look around search.
Yep. And so we're here because Nezumi thinks that like my power wanted us to come here for some reason. Like my mythos knew that she was with me and that wanted to show us something here. So I think she's going to look around and see what her partner was also known as a rabbit, right? She also had the rabbit mythos. So I think Perdita's like, okay, so what is your rabbit connection, right? Is there any paraphernalia that connects her to the rabbit? Pictures that showcase a personality, notes, cosmic signs.
Oh, I've been waiting for 2 weeks for this. So the first book you find is a book on the bookshelf. It has a picture of a rabbit and a skull right next to it. There's no title on it, but if you look inside of it, there's a story in there, and it is written in the style of like a children's story. Basically, when you skim through it, it talks about the story of how the rabbits of the forest are messengers for the recently deceased. And how the rabbits of this forest would sometimes, because the forest was full of spirits, the rabbits would, on certain times of the year, venture out of the woods, and people would congregate near the edge of the forest to give them offerings of like food and things like that, but also so that they can whisper messages to the deceased. And once the rabbits do that, they tuck their ears down and then they run back to the forest to carry the messages back. And that usually would help the spirits find rest in the forest. And it's a little bit of a whimsical story, but that is the gist you get from it. But there is one other item here too.
Which is?
It is a crooked picture of a rabbit and a rat. Like kind of like you know how you see like the animal bone pictures where it's like they show like the different bones and they categorize it and everything. It's kind of like one of those, and it hangs on the wall.
So I think like Perdita's looking at the book, like, I'd hate to see the kindergarten that had this in the library. And then she puts that down very carefully on the shelf and turns around and sees the skeleton picture and walks over, and she's like just kind of squinting at it, like, not my taste.
I will say if you have one clue left. So if you want to, you can spend it however you like, but I can suggest to you that there might be something behind the wall.
I think what I'm thinking of is generally, I think along those lines, which is like what secrets is Nezumi like hiding here?
Okay. So for the most part, okay. So for that clue, there is. So you do find there's like a few bits of like newspaper clippings on the ground, and you do find one that actually shows like it's a headline, and it says mysterious bandits accosted with valuable jewels. And you think back to the fact that Nezumi is a very capable individual, and they definitely must have been performing a lot of heists during their time. But for here, doesn't see as much as Nezumi has stated that it's a safe hold. There's not a lot of stuff in here.
Yeah, it seems more like a place that you would just go to lie low, but not like here's where all our gear is or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Nezumi eventually gets out of the room at this point and looks over to you. Did you find anything interesting?
I'm just taking in the lay of the land. Seems a little weird to have skeletons. We were just talking about them being in your closet, but you've got them hanging on your wall.
She kind of leans into the kind of the threshold a little bit. Oh, that was Abigail. She was always a little bit on the macabre side of things.
Yeah, I get the sense that she had a real thing for death.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, somehow death got to her.
Well, just because you have power over death doesn't mean that you're immune to it.
True. And then she kind of looks past you for a brief moment and thinks, wait. And she kind of like starts walking towards you and then walks past you, and you kind of turn around.
Eventually seeing that she's not stopping, she's like, oh, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
You do you.
And she actually takes like the photo frame that holds the rabbit skeleton there and takes it off. Takes it off, sets it down very gently, and kind of goes, well, Abby used to tell me that there was a spa she had in the house. Hold on. And then there's like a little bit of a brick piece that's kind of like sticking out of the wall with the plaster kind of ripped off, and she kind of like tries to jiggle it, but it's not all the way out, so it's like very hard for her to grab with her fingers. Hold on. And she pulls out like the little lockpick jack again and tries to like create some leverage to try to wedge it out. And there's enough room eventually where she can pull it out, and the brick comes off, and she's like, oh, well, that was a lot harder than it should have been. And there's like a little space. She reaches in. It's just a little bit above her, right above eye level. And she kind of like searches into this space, and she's like, oh, good old Abigail. Go figure. And pulls out, it looks like it's a little bit of a crumpled paper. And you can hear the sound of like something metallic inside of the paper as well.
Extra insurance?
No, hardly.
I think Jackie might have frozen. That is an amazing shot to freeze Jackie.
Like, I don't know what's going on, but it's like...
I hope...
Well,
we might have to go to break.
I'm sure it's very exciting, whatever it is.
Yeah, we might need a second. That was unexpected. That was such a tense...
like a cliffhanger.
Yeah, that was such a tense moment to just hang on.
No, like, dang.
What is this? What the fuck did you discover?
So how's everyone doing?
Oh,
yep, there he goes.
Let's go to break, my friend.
Yeah, let's call break.
We'll be back.
While we
We'll be back.
When Jackie's back. BRB.
Hi, everybody. I'm back. Sorry for that little snafu right there. But we're also all back, so we can all play some games here. All right.
Yay!
Yay! Games. Simon, can you please tell me where I left off? Because I didn't really even realize I got cut out from the call.
As far as I can remember, it was 10 minutes ago. We were in the apartment. Nezumi was very insistent on checking the wall for a loose brick, and he pulled the brick out and reached in and found something, and that thing was
okay. So that thing was
brand new car,
or everything for this box.
the Travis Scott burger.
Oh, so
That's already gone, bro.
Oh, damn, limited edition.
Yeah.
there is a kind of like a semi crumpled up, rolled up piece of paper from that Nezumi pulls from the spot, the hole where the brick was, and you can hear the sound of something metallic inside of it as well, and kind of like shakes the whatever's in there, and there's like a key, and Nezumi unfurls the paper, and you can tell Perdita it is an old subway map for the city. So canonically, yes, there is a subway in this city. So
Okay.
and you can and Perdita, I'll give you that you see right away that there's like an X and a circle for it's not exactly at a station, but it's between two stations.
Huh.
And Nezumi kind of smiles. Oh, Abigail, you always had a backup plan.
I was gonna say this place seems more like just a cheap motel, effectively. You think that's where she's got a secret stash down there?
Looks like it. I know after we split up, I wouldn't think she would use this place as anything really, so she would need to have found a different place to hold stuff. It's not that we didn't trust each other, but she just didn't want to risk anything being found. But I think she left this for me because no one else would think to look there.
Well, then let's go look.
Yeah, let's go. So as you take the map and the key with and Nezumi, you both head out of the doorway, and as you head out, Perdita, you notice that there is a fairly, I wouldn't say nice car, but it at least looks newish, and you can see it's a black car, like on the opposite side of the street. Wasn't there when you arrived before, and you notice that for a brief moment, and Nezumi kind of just starts walking down the street. Nezumi kind of looks to you and says, "Come on, I think I know a shortcut."
After you.
That's alrighty. And I think what's going to happen here, I think that's a good place for a little bit of a transition scene here. So just hang on tight, Simon. We're going to go back to the hospital. So we have two cops in the hospital lobby taking down statements. So is everyone still in that lobby? Like Faith and Miriam as well? I know Tommy is for sure.
We have to be, right? Because we're witnesses.
Sure. Thanks.
Mary's keeping an eye on the body, making sure it doesn't move if it's possible.
Oh, it left. It left.
Damn it.
So at this point, I'm going to say they're taking down statements, and I'm going to have it where they take down. They already finished taking down statements, and there's a brief moment. So are the three of you together, or are the three of you kind of just keeping a little bit of a space between each other, trying not to?
We're probably gonna.
Okay, so Faith. I'm assuming Faith is a little bit more further away, just to
Faith
not
is pretending to still be mopping floors and stuff
Oh, jeez.
because Dr. Walters is still there
Yeah, that's true.
and already suspicious of me. I don't want it to get worse.
Do you want to do something clever? Like I can see this for Faith. Do you want to like really make that floor extra soapy and wet?
Sure, why not? Right
you
around
want
Dr. Walters? Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
why not? Could be fun.
Why don't you do a change the game for me?
I'm just trying to decide what I can use for this. Okay, I feel like I need to pop. They know I'm coming because I'm literally right there in a janitor outfit.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I also feel like I can pick Relentless because I'm being a pain in the ass.
Yep. Yep. Totally can do that. And I feel like for this one here,
I
think
can
that
also
might
use
be
to the
right.
hospital. Yes.
Okay.
Oh, you were gonna say something though. Go.
I was thinking, do you think your being stealthy part work here?
Oh,
You're
yeah,
trying to be
probably.
Inconspicuous.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. At least you have some odds now.
See.
Oh, you
That's
did get a
10.
10. You did get a 10. So you get all those fun things. So you get to so on a 10, you get to create either a story tag, burn a power tag, or a story tag. You can give or reduce a status. You can scale up the effect. You can prolong the effect, or you can hide the effect. Or any other improvements. So if you want, the story tag is going to be wet floor, I would say. So the story tag is wet floor, and I would say if you want to, you can scale it up so it's the whole lobby is a wet floor right now.
Why not?
Okay.
So, can I just do wet floor just around Dr. Martin? So, like a story tag 1 wet floor. And can I burn that Dr. Martin is suspicious of me because I am still doing my job, just somewhere else in the building?
Sure.
That
So
makes
you can remove the. So I think so why don't you just keep the story tag wet floor because it's a story tag more than a status for them, and but you can get rid of suspicious for sure.
Okay, sweet.
Okay. So here, why don't we have so the other question I need to ask for Faith is, what name do you give for your statement?
Oh, crap. What name does the badge that I found say?
It says Jamal.
Well, this is going well.
So I need you to also make. I think at this point, I need you to also make me a convince. I'm assuming Miriam is going to use their actual their name for the.
Yes.
Tommy also
Does
used
Tommy-
his actual name when he signed in, and he's going to continue to be actual.
Also, oh crap! I just realized something messy for later. Never mind.
Oh, crap. What can I use for convince? Dang it.
I am so mean.
You're just so mean.
Let's see. I feel like insecurity is definitely going to be for that one.
Yep. Oh, great. I get another advancement, another
Improvement.
improvement there. I feel like I can use people focused.
Okay.
Like
And maybe, let me see here.
I don't know if I got much else beyond that.
You could use grad student and just be like, I'm just a student, man.
Oh yeah, okay, I'll use that. I'll use just grad student. I don't think this is gonna go well, but we'll see.
We'll find out.
Nope.
Did you roll a 6?
I
Yeah, you did. I love how it's every fail so far in this entire game today has been all 6s.
Oh,
Not
man.
lower, just like perfect.
No,
at the six.
man.
Oh. All right, so I'm gonna say that you actually don't have the your badge on you, so you couldn't come up with a name.
Dang it.
And I think the
But I have to
thing,
use my real name.
yeah, I think you might have to, which complicates it. I'm gonna do a complicate big time.
No.
Because so this is what's gonna happen. You tell them your real name, and then one of the officers kind of squints at it for a minute, and then like kind of just does a little bit of like a radio check. It's like, and then kind of walks away from the scene while the partner is still like talking to you, and there's a little bit of like there's a little bit of like muttering, talking, and a little shaking of head, and as soon as that's over, the one officer comes back and looks over to you. Faith Hughes?
Yeah.
Faith Hughes, you are under the arrest for the assault of a police officer on the line of duty.
Excuse me?
We have been given we are to detain you and take you in for further questioning.
Excuse me?
Ma'am, if you want to just do this quietly, we don't have to make a scene.
Tommy? I think she'll just say it like that.
Where am I in relation to this conversation?
A little bit further, like just within earshot, but not like directly next to them.
I will quickly stand up, hearing the way that she said my name, and head over there. There seem to be a problem here, officer?
It doesn't concern this situation, Mr. Tuwalski.
Yeah, kind of does.
Oh, 260, I'm sorry. Do you know this person?
Yeah, we go to the same bar.
Well, unfortunately, Miss Hughes here has assaulted a police officer, and so we need to do further questioning and detain her for the moment.
Oh, no, Faith would never. Scout's honor. She would never hit a fine officer of the law.
Well, we have an outstanding warrant for her, so we have to actually...
On what grounds? And when did this happen?
And then, like, does, like, a quick check, and, the officer looks at the paperwork. The filing was yesterday. And it says the name, and you realize, and then I think it was Tommy. Tommy, you recognize it's the name of the detective who was tailing Faith.
I think this is bogus.
Sorry, we're just doing our job, Miss
And-
Faith. Would you like to do anything?
I'm just not going to go with cops anywhere without proof and or lawyer. So, that's what I'm going to do.
They look at you as like, well, you can definitely have your call for your lawyer, but we have to still detain you.
I think that I'll wait here because I'm not going anywhere with cops when I've been accused of assaulting a police officer that I haven't done. Because I don't know if you know this, but I work with juveniles in the court system and I know what happens to people who assault a police officer.
I think for this one, this is going toe to toe.
Okay. Ooh. Okay. I think I can use Relentless. I think I can use Graduate Student for sure. I think I can use my heart as my power, but I think I'm going to have to tag Insecurity.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's an 8.
Yep. Trying to add something.
Oh, did you want to?
It's too late.
8 here is going to be so you can choose 2. So you can either achieve your goal.
I think you choose 1 with an 8.
Oh, and then 8. Oh yeah, 1. Right.
1.
Mm-hmm. So you can either choose to achieve your goal, give them a status, or if you choose to counter it in your or if you choose to counter it, they won't. If you don't choose countering, they will impose a status on you.
I think I would rather them impose a status on me than go anywhere with these people. So I'm going to achieve my goal.
So you're going to achieve your goal?
Of not going... Yeah, I'm not going to go anywhere with them.
All right. The status is going to be now that... The status you receive is going to be threatened at a 2. Because now one of the you can tell right away that the other partner has already called for backup and already has their kind of hand like leaning on their gun. And the other officer goes, "Look, ma'am, we're just trying to do our job. You can come down to the station, give your statement, give your story, but unfortunately, we still need to detain you so we can get further questioning done."
Excuse me, officer. Could you please supply a copy of the warrant to the person who you are making the accusation of? I would like to see the signed written warrant by the judge that has issued it.
It looks over at the partner. "I'll be right back." A couple minutes pass, and comes back with a notarized copy.
Do I know the judge?
The judge, you do.
That's what I really wanted to know is who signed off on this.
Oh well, so the judge is one thing. The judge is one thing, but it is also but you can tell it. So not only is it the judge that signed off on the warrant, but that who curtailed it. So the warrant was formally issued by it was by the detective and also under a lawyer by the name of Hector Curtain.
Hector
Curtain.
A curtain?
Like curtain. I'm getting there.
Oh.
You all should have.
Well done.
It's Viggo Mortensen, everyone.
Well done. I'll drop the.
One of my favorite Danes.
Well done.
You named the law firm White Knight. I don't know how much I don't trust you anymore, Jackie.
Yeah.
You shouldn't.
Good.
You shouldn't.
Why have you done this?
So, so I will give you that, Hector. I will give you that. Pretty much, it's legit.
Faith, I think you need to go. I think you need to let this play out. You're not going to win by fighting this right here, standing in this hospital.
Fine, but I want a lawyer, and I'm not going alone.
I'll go. Unless you feel like it's better for you to go, Tommy.
Well,
You know more of this.
I have to stay here and take care of this situation.
All right.
All right.
Jackie?
Mm-hmm.
For free, because I have the improvement for it and we're still within the hospital.
Yeah.
Do the officers look like they're... the improvement I have lets me ask something just for free within the domain of my routine is in the hospital. Do the officers right now, do they... This is a weird question because I don't trust cops to begin with, but do they seem
Fair.
like... do their intentions seem legitimate in terms of what they're saying they're going to do versus what might actually happen to Faith?
Yes, it does.
Okay. That's that one I need to know just to be prepped for what's to happen.
So Miriam, you're gonna come along with Faith. And what happens in this scene is that 2 additional officers arrive at the scene to take Faith in. So you both can go together if you want to handle that. And we'll resolve the last little bit here with Tommy and Yang. And the officers kind of come over to you, Tommy, first. All right, Mr. Chustixi? How do you pronounce that, sir? And I say that as you're shoving it in your mouth.
Two-stick-asti.
Tukstikowski.
You can just call
Sir,
me Tommy Two Sticks. It's fine.
Very well, sir. Sir, we have taken your statements, and for the assault. For the moment, we will process everything through. If you wish to contact a lawyer, you most certainly can. It is within your rights. For now, we don't see a need to arrest anybody, as Mr. Yang over there has already stated that they will more or less take their leave of absence and leave the vicinity to not cause any further physical confrontations, and we will also be monitoring them as well.
Okay. Well, I'd really like to press charges on him. My jaw hurts quite a bit.
Certainly, and we can that can definitely be done. We'll probably have to process him overnight, so we will have to take care of that. The partner goes over to Mr. Yang, and you can see that there's a similar conversation happening, and the Mr. Yang just nods his head, and you see Yang getting cuffed as well.
Okay. All right. I appreciate your prompt response, officers. It's never a good thing when you have to call an officer of the law in to take care of something, but the entire situation just never felt right.
Understandable. We will take care of. We'll try to take care of this. And regarding your friend Hughes, we'll do our best regarding that. But unfortunately, we had nothing we could do about that.
What does that mean? Do your best. I would like to be extremely clear as to what that means.
I mean that we will treat her with dignity and respect.
Do you know anything about this officer who's accusing Miss Hughes?
Looks over. Not really. Not in my department, so I don't know.
What department are they in?
Looks like they're part of. Looks like narcotics division.
Interesting. Narcotics division.
I don't know. I didn't follow. That was not that. I don't do much with that department, so.
Totally understandable. I can't expect you to know everything.
All right, sir. If you need anything else, just give us a call. Have a wonderful day.
All right. Have a good one.
The other cop talks to Walters for a brief minute, and there's a little bit of a talk. You can see Walters a little bit frustrated, but after a few more moments, Walters eventually just calms down, and just you see a nodding of heads, and the cop eventually all the cops leave the hospital wing.
I will start to move, and like I'm leaving.
Okay. And I will say, I think that's a good place to end that scene. So we'll let that happen. Now, your only question, though, is, Tommy, is you know where Miriam and Faith were. Where the heck is Perdita?
Who knows? all I know is that the van is here.
Yeah.
I'm going to go to the van. And then I'm going back to the bar.
I mean, valid. What else can you do?
There's nothing else I can do.
Fair.
Yeah, and probably Faith wouldn't have time to mention any of the other stuff.
Yeah.
Either she's being moved, so you didn't know.
Yeah. So while we're taking care of that, we'll pan back to Perdita here. So Perdita and Nezumi, you make your way down to the staircases for one of the subway stations that's nearby where Abigail had mentioned on the map. And Nezumi makes their way to the one of the service doors and breaks in.
Pretty good at that. I wouldn't want to have anything I want to keep under lock and key around you.
Or your pockets.
Perdita smiles and kind of laughs a little bit, and then goes stone cold when Nezumi's not looking at her and starts patting at the pockets of the jacket.
Do you keep your ID in any of your pockets?
I mean, she probably has a wallet in the inner pocket of the leather jacket that she wears.
Okay. At one point, Nezumi just waves your ID in the air, just casually.
Never mind.
She hands it back to you. Oh, trust me, it's just a thing.
You know, if you want to know more about me, you can just ask. I usually like to have people buy me coffee first, though.
She hands you a cup of coffee.
Now that, okay. We didn't walk. Forget it.
You remembered that there was a person carrying a cup of coffee at one point.
And she
when you were walking down the staircase.
Right. And,
it's the same cup.
Sees the lipstick stain on it and is like,
Yeah.
And puts it down somewhere. She's about to drink out of it and oh no, someone else puts it on the stairs and just edges away.
What? You said over coffee.
Yeah, but you buy it for me.
Oh,
you don't get out a lot, do you?
Oh, but that's just not fun. and eventually you make your way down a little bit further on the service hallway, and you can tell you're getting closer to where the other service area where the subway tunnel would be, because you can hear the loud roaring of a subway train, and eventually there's another door. Nezumi opens it. This one's not locked, anyways, and you're now in that part of the subway tunnel where you see the train tracks. There's like a large overhang ceiling above you. It's dimly lit. There's some signage and signalers, like kind of scattered about. And she kind of looks around. All right. Well, guess we might as well. I guess the rest of the way we're gonna have to kind of figure out where the next space is.
So this map is like sort of it's a map of the subway system, and it's kind of a rough X marks the spot kind of situation, right?
Right. So Nezumi is thinking. So Nezumi kind of told you. I think Nezumi would be like at this point be like, it might be another service area that wherever Abigail keeps the stuff is. There's a key, which I don't get because I would just break through it. So I don't know why she gave me a key.
Maybe she wanted to make sure that nobody knew where it was. If you kind of bust through, the key is a little more subtle. People can tell when you've jimmied with a lock too many times.
That's true.
Well, hang on. Let me go first. Perdita takes a step forward, and she attempts to shift her body in a way that she doesn't usually, which is to modify her super dilate her pupils, I guess, so that she can see in the dark.
Okay. All right. I like that. So why don't we do... So for this one here, I think a good thing... Let me see if this is the one I want. Because I think... Do you think you're thinking you're sneaking around more at this point, trying to look for it? Or do you think you're... I'm trying to think, where would this fit here?
Well, I think I just tried to change the game.
Okay, yeah. Change the game would be good.
To give myself an advantage here.
Sure. I think that would be good. So you want to go ahead and roll for that?
Yeah. Physical alteration is the tag for my adaptation that I think makes the most sense. But none of the rest of these I think particularly apply. Maybe know the city like the back of my head, because I feel like she's been down on the in the subways a couple times.
Right.
And so between the night vision and her knowledge of what's around her, she's trying to chain those two together.
Do you think she has to eat anything, you think, for this eye change?
Probably. I think she probably says, "Oh, let me go first." Takes a step forward, pulls one of the Triple C's, the Cheshire Chocolate Company Snickers bars, out of her pocket, and is munching on it as her eyes start to glow.
I like that a lot. Let's do that.
So it's a change the game with 1 power.
Okay. You get the one. You got a 10. So you have 1 juice to spend. Actually, you get 2, I think, right? Or is it? It's a minimum of 2.
It's just, it's a minimum of 2, even if you only use 1.
Right. So you get a minimum of 2 you can spend. So you can create a story tag. You can give yourself a status or reduce a status. You can either burn a power tag or story tag. You can scale it up. You can prolong it. You can. I don't know if you really want to hide it, but yeah, or if there's any other improvement we can think of.
I'm gonna give myself a story tag, which is night vision.
Okay, I like that.
Or would you? Is that a status?
I would say. Okay. So I think the status would be see in the dark 1. And then night vision would be a story tag, so it's either 1. So you can do that.
Yeah. Let's say it's night vision as a story tag, so that I can tag it into other roles.
Right. Sounds good. So we'll do that. So you got night vision as a story tag. You do actually have 1 more juice because a story tag usually doesn't get any increases in tier. So you can if you want to prolong the effect. You can, or you can scale it up, maybe make it bigger so you can see in a bigger area, maybe.
Oh. Could I spend a juice to extend it to her?
Yeah, you could. You can scale the effect that way. Yeah,
So
totally.
she's snacking on the half of the bar. And she's
Mhm.
like, oh, this is pretty useful. Hang on, you're going to trip over yourself. And she reaches around
Mhm.
and she looks back with her mouth like half full of a chocolate bar and
Mhm.
goes, so I know this is going to sound like I'm coming on to you, but I want to show you something. And it's down this way. And it's going to be really hard if you're just walking around in the dark. So, like, I really just need to hold your hand for like 5 seconds.
She looks at you. It's like, well, I did get you coffee.
And she grabs Mizumi's hand and she's like, this is not a date. And channels, there's like a little sparkle glow on her hand. And then Mizumi also gets the like glowy eye effect.
Oh, that is handy.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet, right? I'm pretty amazing. And she finishes the chocolate bar and stuffs it into her jacket. Really humble too. Let's go.
So you're both walking down the subway tunnel together with holding hands.
Honey, the power is gone through me to you. You don't have to hold my hand anymore.
Oh, well, I thought we were on a date.
I said it wasn't. And clingy people are unattractive.
I feel attacked. I feel attacked.
Oh God, that hurt.
Oh,
I
that was
choked
so
on
good.
that one.
Oh,
Burn.
Oh
Burn.
God. Oh,
that was a good burn.
oh God. My head actually went a little loopy after that one.
So you eventually lets go of your hand, and just walks beside you for a moment. Well, we have a good ways to look around, so we might as well see if we can find it. I think for this, I think it. So definitely, if you want to, you can roll an investigate to find it.
Yeah, I think as we're looking around.
I think what I'm going to do here, Simon, because what it's going to be is, if you can spend one of the clues to find it. So if you get in, even if you just get like the one clue you need just to find it, but you can then pull up additional information for it, and stuff like that. So let's do that.
All right, so I know the city like the back of my hand. I have night vision as a tag.
Yep.
I'm perpetually curious. So she's like walking around and like, oh, this is cool. I didn't know this tunnel actually went through here. The last time I was here, this was all blocked up. There was construction. They were trying to reroute the different tracks, and there was something about how this line actually. Did you know that this line hasn't been used in the last 30 years? They founded it in 1965 because they were going to try and do this whole crosstown thing, and it just didn't work out. And then I think
like that.
I think that's it.
Do you feel like you're being a little
I think being
authoritative? Yeah, PI makes sense here. Do you think you're being authoritative as well, like kind of just taking the lead on searching?
Yeah, she's definitely like, we're going this way. Yeah.
Okay. And I'm gonna say for this one, I will invoke one of your weakness tags.
Okay.
It's going to be your iconic outfit.
Oh yeah.
Oh
There's a
yeah,
reason
that makes
for
sense.
that.
Because she's wearing this leather jacket and bright powder blue rockabilly dress
In the middle of a
chunky
subway
heels.
tunnel.
In a subway tunnel. All right, I gotta remember to take a improvement for my adaptation as well at some point.
Yeah.
But let me roll some dice.
Roll those dice.
It's an 11.
Nice.
Nice.
All right, so you get 4 clues to spend.
Yep.
If you want to, you can spend one of those you will find the location. So if you have 4 clues to kind of cover around the subway tunnel, and as well, so it will encompass things like this. So the subject is going to be the subway tunnels plus the whole I guess the hideout, quote unquote, and the method is going to be through your night vision.
Yep. First, I think first she's going to spend the clue to find the location.
Yep.
And then the second clue she wants to spend while this is happening is, has anyone been down here recently?
Okay. So for recently, I will say for that, yes, there has. You can tell but there are obvious ones like subway workers were down here doing maintenance recently. But your night vision can tell you also that there's the obvious signs would be things like maybe a leftover toolbox or something like that, because the subway workers are like, I'm gonna have to come back here, I'm just gonna leave my tools here. It's not like anybody's gonna come and jack my stuff.
Right.
But you can tell though that there are still footprints on the gravel and everything, and there's a lot of activity down here, and so it's a little bit more active than you
pretty busy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's definitely very busy and active, as if there are more than just subway workers down here.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what you get from your second clue.
Cool. And then I'm going to hang on to them for the other two clues for when we get into the hideout.
Sure. So you do find the hideout. It's a door like you've seen before. You do notice that there's a rabbit sticker sticking on on part of the door. It's not a big sticker, but it's noticeable enough. And Nezumi kind of looks at it. Guess this is the place. Turns the key fits right in nicely. They turn the key, and inside you see that there's several items inside this. It's like, I want to say it's like a 10 by 10 room. So it's like so it has like a lot of tools and things in here, or what would be tools. There's some shelving, but instead of tools, you find that it's there's a couple of boxes. There's several boxes, and there are items like kind of wrapped up in like cloth or paper. And you can tell by the shapes that those are not for tools. Those are clearly like objects that are not subway tools. Guess
you
we're
guys
here.
use this stuff normally?
Well, Nezumi's going to open one of the kind of like wrapped up items, and you can tell when she opens it, it's a vase. It's like, yeah, this is totally what we use.
Previous scores? Perdita's like walking around and kind of picking gingerly things up.
Well, it wouldn't be mine, so it's definitely hers.
Yeah, I understand you used to work in jewelry more than artifacts. And
jewelry was nice. Jewelry was nice, but we just did what we could to get anything, to get it through, get the goods passed out through a fence. Let's take a look around. And she kind of peels over. And I think for you, Perdita, you do find a book-shaped object that's been wrapped up in paper.
Sorry, some new sounds in my house.
Yeah, it's fine.
What is it?
You open it, and it looks like, so it's going to be kind of like metallic in nature, and you see that it has a big moon on it, and it's so, and you open it, and inside are like these slabs that are kind of sort of together, and you can tell that it's written in Egyptian hieroglyphics.
Oh.
And it has the moon on it, and when you look through it, there are sections of it that are just blanks for whatever reason.
Like where there should be symbols?
Mm-hmm. And also on top of that, the slabs there. So with the slab, there's also like a section that kind of rolls up like papyrus. Like there's a section that just rolls up papyrus that you can just like stretch out and pull out from this pile of slabs, and the papyrus is empty.
Usually, when people steal artifacts, the artifacts have things on them.
Well, I remember hearing that the book could only be read under the light of a full moon, but that was just a story. But I can now tell you that that is the Book of Thoth right there.
This.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I should have a hazmat suit or something on.
You're fine, but I'm glad we found it versus who would find it.
Yeah. We should get this out of here and somewhere a lot more secure.
I agree. As you head out, the doorway, you hear the footsteps coming down the gravel in the with your night vision. Thankfully, you can see a lot more clearly. You can see it's one figure and about maybe 4 or 5 others. So it's a group of 6 at least.
Okay.
But one of them, you can clearly tell is dressed differently than all the others. So they're wearing a leather jacket as well, and has kind of like a tie and a dress shirt, has like finely combed hair, and is also but the rest of the people coming with them are all dressed in kind of like business suits, kind of more instead. And I am going to put this up for all of you. So
Oh no, he's cute.
I know. Anyways,
Really cute.
It's really cute.
if you really want to know, it's
I'll put him in the Discord.
for all our viewers. I showed the picture of Zhao Zhang, and that is an actor for The Untamed, which you can find on Netflix. So enjoy that. Anyways, so he's coming down, and he as there's a point where he breaks through the shadow and into one of the lightings overhead. Hello, Nezumi.
Oh, so he sees us right off the bat.
Well, he's in the light now, and you guys,
Okay.
there's a little bit of lighting over the service door because there has to be.
Okay.
So, like, there's enough outline to show that. So he's walking kind of. So he's like in that phase of like where he's in between the light and not. So you can see like some of the features. Like, pretty, you clearly see him, anyways.
Yeah.
But Nezumi, I figured you would eventually lead me to where what I was looking for. And there's a moment where Nezumi is kind of tense. You can see that Nezumi's tense and stiffened. So, was it you that got to Abigail? He the gentleman kind of just smiles. No, I didn't. Actually, I did nothing to Abigail.
While this conversation's happening, I'd like to spend a clue.
Sure.
What's the best way out of here?
Sure, there is. There is a service lot. There is a service door about maybe 15 feet away from you that you can use to, if you, it is locked. It's most likely locked, but you can use that to break. If you take that staircase, if you take that door, it'll take you to a service tunnel that will take you straight into the main access way out of the next station over.
Okay. So she's like taking a look at that and kind of biding her time for a second, and then taking a look at this guy. This is not someone that Perdita's ever dealt with before.
No,
Right.
nope, has not.
But it seems like these guys. I guess I'll spend my other clue.
Mhm.
I don't know if it counts to like the tunnels themselves, but is this group armed?
I'll get. I don't have. I'll say. I'll let you save that clue. They don't. You can tell from your night vision that there is some like outlines of shapes underneath their jackets. So yeah.
Okay. So, and he hasn't seen Perdita yet, or he's seen Nezumi. He's seen both of us.
I think he's seen both of you.
Okay. So
I'll
Perdita
give that
like,
he's seen the both of you.
gently puts a hand on Nezumi's back from behind her and whispers, "Do you want to book it?"
We have, and she kind of like looks at you, like just like kind of like just shifts her eyes over to you for a brief second, and just kind of leans in like, "We need to run."
Don't worry, honey. I always know what the back door is. And she grabs her and runs towards the service door.
Okay.
And rather than open it, she wants to activate her mobility mythos
Oh,
to teleport between
right.
doors.
Okay, so yeah, that's definitely. I feel like. All right, I'm trying to decide which skill. It's either take the risk, which I don't feel like it is, or I'm trying to decide if it's. Would it be go toe to toe? Isn't that
Might be
go
face
toe to
danger too, depending.
Yeah, I think the
Right.
danger is like we're getting caught.
Yeah.
Or change
Yeah.
the game.
Or yeah, it could be change the game,
Because
depending.
you're trying to change the scenario, which is do not get attacked by a horde of armed people.
Right. That might be it. Let's go with change the game and see where that goes.
I'm just looking at the outcomes and seeing if that makes sense. Creating story
Okay.
tags. I'm not really getting juice though. I feel like it is take the risk.
Okay, it is take the
Daring
risk. Yeah, I
riskier
feel like
outright
that
stupid
too.
feat.
Yeah. Yeah, let's do take the risk then.
All right.
Because you are being daring here.
So I'm gonna blink between doors.
Mhm.
She knows that there's the other end. So what she's trying to do is like skip the tunnel, basically. Like
Right.
we're gonna go through this door and we're gonna come out on the other end of this door. It
Right.
doesn't matter. Like we don't need to run through it.
Right. You end up being where you need to be through a
Right,
door.
faster. I'm being authoritative because I'm grabbing her.
Right. Right.
And I think that's all I can tag in here. So
Go ahead and throw in your weakness tag of an iconic outfit here.
yeah, he's gonna notice me for sure.
Yeah, that's gonna be something to remember.
All right, let's take the risk.
Holy Moses!
11.
Jesus!
11.
You do it.
Oh
somehow.
yeah, you do it somehow. So yeah, you don't have to suffer any kind of ugly choices. Woo! So you break through. So you get to the door. So narrate how does the door get manipulated by your mythos?
Yeah. I think she runs up to the service door, like dragging Nezumi behind her, who's like kind of trailing. It's not like front on shot. And maybe Nezumi's like reaching for that lockpick set that she's got, and she's like, "Oh no, we don't need that." And she snaps her fingers. The lock just kind of like glows a little bit, and she reaches for it, and like grabs the knob or the handle or whatever, and pulls it. But rather than opening the way it normally would, it just opens into that like spiraling, twisting nether kind of like black and purple stripe.
Yeah.
And she's just like, I know this was bad the first time, but this time I know where I'm going. and yanks her through, and they like stumble out of they like fall out of the door on the other end.
Okay. Yeah, so you get through that. The door closes. The glow fades. You're now and funny enough, a train just got unloaded passengers, and passengers are climbing up the stairwell to head out. So if you like, you can blend in with them.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna do for sure.
For sure. So you get up there. It doesn't take you that long. You're out in the daylight again, and you have the Book of Thoth in your possession.
Oh my god, that was good.
And Nezumi just looks at you. Well, that was a much better ride than the last one.
Yeah, once you kind of learn the ropes, the second time is usually a lot more fun. I got the book.
All right. We got the book.
Children over here.
I haven't said anything.
You don't have to. You make the faces with me. I don't want to hear about it.
So Nezumi looks over. All right, I think we should probably see what happened to all your friends.
Oh, my friends? Oh, they're fine. Smash cut 2.
Smash cut 2.
Me in face. That's perfect. I love that so much.
Yep.
It's fine.
So Miri and Faith, you're at the station. You're not handcuffed, Faith, just so you know.
They'd cuff me to a table because I'm going to be really angry about it.
You didn't resist, so they didn't have a reason to. But you are talking with a station officer who's taking down your statement and additional clarification.
Because I'm not talking to the cops without a lawyer.
Do you have a lawyer retainer, or do you just have?
Probably not, but I would ask for one.
Okay, sure thing.
I'm a grad student. I have no monies.
So you get a public defender.
Great. Well, I'm probably on a first name basis with all of them. Let's be real.
Yep. It's do you want a female, or do you want a male, or is there a preference? You could ask for it if you know them by first name.
A public defender that I'm on a first name basis with. I want the most. I would have called the most tenacious one that I know.
You would have called the most tenacious one.
I think it's a woman.
Okay.
Who's like just a burr in everyone's saddle, just like one of those, like, you know, fighting and being just a pain to everyone.
Let's go with. Does Cynthia Miller sound like a good name for that?
Sure.
So Cynthia Miller. How old do you think Cynthia is? Like around like her mid-40s, maybe?
I think yeah, early to mid-40s. She's been doing this a long time, and she's just tired of the bullshit.
Yeah, so you've been kind of silent most of the time. Cynthia walks right in and comes in and looks over and says, "I got this, Faith. Don't worry." And they sit down with you and they talk. Cynthia talks to the officer about the charges being laid against you, and so you have been given a assault charge on an officer of the law during the middle of an investigation, and also you have been given you've also been charged with the obstruction of justice, and also have been charged with destruction of police property. And Cynthia's just not having it. I will not have my client be accused of such ridicule and bias. I've also heard about how she was treated upon her arrest. I will not stand for this. I will file a formal complaint against your captain. And the officer's just like, look, Miss Miller, we just try to do our job, but can I just get this processed? I would like to speak with my client alone for a moment, Sergeant. All right. And he gets up off the chair. Miri, where are you when this is all happening? Are you still nearby, or are you kind of just?
She's nearby, but she's uncomfortable. She's avoiding the eye gaze of all of the police officers. And when this is a GM question to Jackie. Do you have the sergeant named by any chance?
I don't, but you can if you want to give them a name. I will attest as for a GM behind the screen.
No. The reason is because I have help points for Faith, and I have an idea for this in regards to like, because if Cynthia's trying to make sure that like we don't get shit because the cops don't want more bad press or attention, I have an idea. Of involving about the sergeant doesn't want me to talk because of previous relation with him.
You can totally do that if you want.
That's why I'm asking if he was named. I didn't want to come up with a name.
I can come up with a name for you if you like.
Daniel Rubia.
Daniel Rubia. Okay, there we go. Daniel Rubia it is. So Sergeant Rubia is kind of just about to get up and head and try to maybe like, and Miller's just like, why don't you just get up, get a cup of coffee or something, do what you all do, just loiter around all day. And as Rubia leaves, Miller just goes, "Oh God, the worst amount, the greatest waste of taxpayer money right there." Faith, honey, you need to tell me what happened.
And I think that she'll just fill in. I was with Tommy. We were playing catch, being watched by someone who didn't acknowledge themselves. And so we handled it. He wouldn't tell us who he was until he was pinned on the ground under me because I was feeling threatened for my life. And then we find out he's a police detective. We let him go, told him to leave us alone, and stop following me. He didn't say he was investigating me. He was just following me. So it's ridiculous. And I feel set up. Just a little set up.
All right. Well, I think you have a good case here. But I can't shake off the assault on the police officer yet, or the detective, apparently, as I found out. But
a detective for what?
He was I only have so far the information that he was investigating a subject for narcotics violations.
Then why was he following me?
I don't know. So I need to find out on my end as well. But I can at least say this: I will make sure that you will not be staying here overnight, and I can at least talk to the sergeant, and if I need to, I will rail the captain for it.
I don't like this.
It'll be all right. I'm sorry you're going through this. I wish this was in better circumstances. I got to see you again. By the way, how's your dissertation going? Oh, I see. I won't break it. I won't bring it up again.
It's okay. Just the professor says I need to be doing more. I don't know what that means.
I think Perdita, you can go ahead and take that crack. Not Perdita, I'm sorry. Faith, if you want to, you can take that crack on one more year.
I don't know what that means. I don't.
Cynthia kind of just like it's like kind of biting her a little bit. I think you'll figure it out when you do, but I understand. And for what it's worth, I'm sure we can get through this. I know it's an inconvenience.
No, it's just thanks. And this just proves how corrupt this whole thing is. Ugh. And I think
But I
she's
need you. But I will say this though. I need you to be upfront with me. Are you sure that's everything that happened? Because before I got here, I just found out who I'm going against, and I'm not confident.
Who are you going up against?
Oh, hello. I'm Cynthia Miller. How are you?
Hi. I'm
great
a
to
friend of Faith.
this is Miri.
Hi, Miri. Unfortunately, I am where the confirmed prosecutor is going to be Henry Curtain.
Oh, great. Him.
And I don't know if you know him very well, Faith, but he's good, unnecessarily good.
I think Faith's gonna lean in and go, you know, this town has, like, people who are different, right?
Yeah, I mean, we're all different.
Uh-huh. But, like, different.
Okay.
I was playing a game with my friend Tom. I didn't look like this.
What did you look like?
And I think that she'll, like, take a piece of paper and just rough sketch out. I don't think she's gonna say it, because that's too much.
She kind of looks confused. Like there's this, like, big face of disbelief, and
I think she'll write down. I think she'll write down Wolver. Look it up, and just pass it across.
And I think that's a good place for the scene to cut for today's episode.
Damn. This is gonna be a lot.
Because the music also was climactically building up
That
to
was
it. So I
really
just
good.
felt like it was appropriate.
That was so stressful.
Good!
Hey, I'll change the music to something less stressful.
Well, it is our Geek Out session now. We have, as part of the game, we do a big after session Geek Out as part of the credits rolling. So that is going to be our little fun bit here. So I'm just going to go and read the question out loud, and all of you can contribute to the answers as we go through it. So at the end of the session, how has the crew grown this session? How do you all feel about it? Do you feel like you all grown this session, or do you feel like, I mean, I feel like there was a good growing moment, because especially for like the trio that was in the hospital lobby, like being together, trying to help each other out. Like, I feel like that was good. It was pretty good crew dynamics there. Like Tommy defending Faith, but how does everyone else feel about that?
Yeah, can we count that because Perdita was off doing her thing? Because I feel like the three
Perdita
of
was
us,
still doing the case. Like, that's the
Yeah.
thing. Like, Perdita was still doing the case, so that's fine. I feel like as a crew as a whole, like, how do you all feel about it?
I feel good.
yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
I thought it was more of a like Tommy and like Faith kind of moment personally. I don't know if like Meaty just got to be that active.
Actually.
Yeah,
I think
so
Miri was just trying to find a place to like be
help,
like,
but it was
yeah.
just not. Once the police got involved, it was like, oh god, this is gonna be awkward for me to be involved in anyway. I gotta step back.
Yeah,
just
I
did
feel
not.
I feel that. And which characters did you have a meaningful interaction with this session? I know Perdita has been out of it, but I feel like Perdita still had a good meaningful interaction with like Nezumi the entire time, getting to know Nezumi. And I think I'll give it to I think for the help though, I think for the help point to Perdita, I know it usually goes for PCs, so I don't know if you give or get any.
I don't think I think it's supposed to focus on PCs, so I think I skipped that over for this session.
Yeah, you skipped that over this session. Yeah. How does everyone else feel?
I think I get a help point with Faith.
Okay, I like that. And what about Faith and Miri?
I think I'm gonna take a help point with Miri because Miri went with Faith to the police station.
Yeah. I think for me personally, I think it's good that Faith takes a help point, but I don't necessarily get one because I don't think in my mind Miri really got to do that much. I think maybe for Faith it felt like it was a really big thing. For Miri, it was like she didn't really get to do that much.
Yeah.
True, but it's to the character, so I can think that makes sense. So any themes that you have that you feel were understrained this session? Does anyone have any that felt they were understrained? I know some did and some didn't. And I'll go over, and I have something in mind for Tommy Two Sticks next week, so I'm gonna touch on that next week. So tune in for that.
Mine's the same as it's been.
Yeah, if it's the same, then we can skip over it. How did you all feel about this session then? How did you feel about that little confrontation there?
I thought it was good. I really liked the little confrontation.
I still think that you all did your best to not escalate that situation, which was very great.
I was trying.
He punched you in the face.
I was trying very hard not to punch first. I was trying to bait him, and I succeeded.
Yep, you succeeded. You succeeded.
And Perdita's got the Book of the Dead. Heck yeah.
Jesus, I was like, it's gonna be just hanging out. Yeah, exactly.
No big deal.
Lying around. No big deal.
I thought it was just gonna be like another clue, and it's like, nope, it's the actual book. And like, fuck.
Well, there's like what, 4 sessions? So
it kind of had to come up sooner or later.
Yeah, it did. And I think it's gonna get pretty good here for this one, because I have now some ideas for what to do for next week, because you got the book, which was actually the main objective of this case, but you still have a little bit more to figure out. So next week is going to be a lot of fun, I think. So I get to write a new case next week, so that's going to be fun.
I don't.
And what?
I don't like this structure that you've built of these horrible people. I'm just kidding.
What? You mean this oppressive structure built upon by a corrupt government with a secret organization that's running it all? What? What? But I think I left plenty of good questions for all of you in terms of like, what does everything mean?
Yeah.
I hope Simon, you enjoyed those additional tidbits with more rabbits involved.
Yeah, something's going on. Piecing it together.
Yep, it's gonna be good. I think
Early.
it's totally gonna get good. All right, I think that's it for all of us. So for our closings, go ahead and let's have our outros. Why don't we just go backwards so Kate can see if we can find anybody to raid? Kate.
All right. Hi, I'm Kate. I go by me in Midair on the internet, and I stream here on Sundays. And then I also stream every other Tuesday night on twitch.tv/SoManyGames at 7:30 p.m. Pacific during Star Trek, the USS Norman Borlaug. I am the captain of that fun crew.
Awesome.
And then every other Thursday night. Oh, good. Yeah, sorry. And I'm not done, Jackie. Every other Thursday night on the off weeks, but that may change. Or Call of Good Thursday. And I make things on the internet. If you like these overlays or anything like that, come check me out at meandmidairdesign.com.
All right, cool. And Smurf,
Hi, it's me. I'm Smurf. I lost my beard in Extra Life, and it's weird. But you can find me at DSC_Smurf everywhere the internets are found. I'm on Dumpstat Charisma and Soulbear RPG and here throughout the week. And I also have a podcast. It's called Flanking Bonus that I do with my best friend Dana. And we just talk about whatever we want, and it's amazing. So yeah, that's me.
All right. Thank you, Smurf. Angela?
Hello there, everybody who tuned in. I was Media Rocabado on here. I am Angela, otherwise known as Phoenix24Fem on Twitter, or the Philosophem over on Patreon, where I now have 148 pieces currently up, half of which it changes every time I'm able to actually write something. It's a pandemic. It's hard to write and be creative. It's hard. I have half of those are put behind Patreon locked exclusive content. The other half are available for public viewing. I am also a GM over on Heroes Without Limits on Mondays, 2 p.m. EST for the Plains of Providence Quest RPG campaign in a homebrew setting of my own creation. I am also part of the online media publication Art for Ourselves, with all QTPOC writers and creatives involved with that. I am one half of the relationship podcast Queerly Yours. Every other Friday over on Utopia, I'm involved with the Chimera RPG campaign of Cape and Blade, where I play trans woman illusionist reality and body warper, because I have a brand and I stick to it. And and I'm here on Sundays, obviously, and occasionally for other things and such, working on a game that's coming along slowly, as well as another project or two coming along that I might actually get to talk about in more detail soon. So that's a thing I'm involved with, and I'm reading my own description to remember if I forgot anything, and I'm a musician for hire. That was the only other thing I forgot. I have a lot. Don't laugh at me.
I know, Angela, I do too.
We just both literally have to look at our CV to be like, what the fuck do I do with my life?
What do I do again?
That's it for me.
And Simon?
Yeah, it's me. I'm Simon. You can find me on Twitter at Lucha Libris. I write and publish tabletop role-playing games at colorspraygames.itch.io. Go check that out. I got a couple of cool games for you for one player or groups of up to 3 or 5, as many as you need. So go check it out. I am a professional GM for Magpie Games. If you go to magpiegames.com/curated-play, you can find out how you can get linked up with me or many other fantastic GMs running games like Masks and Bluebeard's Bride and the upcoming Root role-playing game, which I'll be writing for. So keep an eye out. If you're a Kickstarter backer, you should be getting that at some point in the future, but not right now. I am a voice actor for the Penumbra Podcast. If you go to @thepenumbrapod on Twitter or thepenumbrapodcast.com, you can find out how you can see yourself represented in stories. Very queer sci-fi and fantasy audio drama is also available wherever fine podcasts are downloaded. I'm a player on this channel, not only here on Sundays, but on Wednesdays at 8 p.m., playing Free from the Yoke from UFO Press. We are playing a post-colonial, mid-fantasy hack of this game that is very much like sort of Game of Thrones, where we deal with various factions and houses doing things in a world that is trying to recover after being colonized and has rejected the empire that once conquered it. And also tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern, so in just about 2 hours, you can go over to twitch.tv/go_JG, where I will be part of a new cast for a 4-shot series playing Jason Petra's After the War, which is a sci-fi game of mimetic horror. It is very cool, very exciting to see how that's going to go with another fantastically diverse cast. So come check out our first session. It's going to be a session 0 where we talk about the game rules and the game world and make characters. So come by.
That's awesome. Can't wait for that. And I have been your master of ceremonies. I am Jackie, better known as Death by Mage on the internet. I create a lot of tabletop content for DM's Guild, DriveThruRPG, and also on Itch, so you can check all those things out. I am also a occasionally 2-time Emmy Award-winning writer, I guess, and allegedly. Occasionally.
You
I don't know.
With it.
Under literary review.
under literary review. I probably, if you follow me on Twitter, I probably have been posting a whole lot. I've been mostly retweeting a lot of projects from either indie creators or other fellow POC creators, or from any of my other publishing companies that don't terribly suck. And so I've been very busy working on some other projects, so I kind of been very quiet. So sorry about that. And you can occasionally find me here. You can occasionally see me on Soulbear. Because we do Threads of Fate there on every other Tuesday. And other than that, I think I don't have anything else going on right now, do I? No, I don't. Okay.
Oh, we have a one-shot this Friday. I can't...
Oh, that's right. This Friday on All Nerds Here, not me, I will not be present for it, but Kate will be in one of the games run by one of our channel friends, Ryan. Is running Call of Cthulhu. He's running a part of my Call of Cthulhu adventure called Siren Signal, which involves a mysterious radio tune that somehow has infiltrated the minds of the denizens of Grand Rapids, Michigan. The official product is not going to be released for some time because I am unfortunately a busy bee. So it won't be out for a while, but there's actually 3 different time periods the story focuses on. They're focusing on the 1920s version.
I just remembered one other thing that I'm actually involved with that I have to plug because it's actually coming up soon. I will be part of a whole host of other GMs who are going to be involved with Fuck Cancer, Roll Dices, a few days of charity fundraising and such, where I'll be running Quest, where essentially you can describe my one-shot as Chopped meets an obstacle course. So just Chopped, but with a bigger location.
That would be awesome.
With a bigger location, like with actual obstacles. What was it? I think I just remember something. Oh yes, that's right. I am the lead. I'm the creative lead for the Unbreakable anthology, which is a anthology series you can find on Direct3RPG that features Asian stories and mythologies written by Asian creators and Asian artists. We have a lot of big plans for 2021. There's a few people in this channel who are a part of that, and I can't wait to start talking more about those probably sometime next week or the week after, because we're going to winter break afterwards. So please follow me on Twitter to find out more about that, and there'll be more news in the future. Stay tuned.
All right, we've got a raid. We're gonna go raid our friend Lamar the Con guy. Just yell at him. Get your emotes ready and yell.
Not even nice things,
at him.
just yell at him.
Yeah. They're playing Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which actually I've already watched the entire gameplay for. So it's fun. Enjoy.
I think we're gonna
have fun being Vikings.
Today we're gonna actually go visit just normal Lamar, not Lamar.
Yeah, normal Lamar.
Normal Lamar today.
Here we go.